DMITRY Bivol versus Artur Beterbiev trilogy is set to take place next? I mean, nobody's surprised by this, right? Right? Well, apparently this guy is. He said he's ducking and he's so disappointed in Bivol for taking a trilogy.
What?
Well, if you had a mother that worked hard to put you through school at any time in your life, I'm sure she's disappointed in you.
You dumbass.
If I tell you I'm good, probably you will say I'm boasting. If I tell you I'm no good, you know I'm lying.
Yo, what's good, Boxing Talk family? It's your boy, Dr. Boxing Talk, back for another YouTube video. Banger, man. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. I know what time it is. The doctor's in the house, man. So check this out. The Beterbiev Bivol, the Bivol Beterbiev, because he is the winner, right? You know, is the trilogy is gonna happen, man. And you know, this is to some people's disappointment. They're even accusing DMITRY Bivol of ducking a potential opponent in David Benavidez. If he pursues a trilogy, when he split in a trilogy, he split in a match 1-1, and it was for undisputed both times. You're trying to tell me and convince me that he's ducking the guy, that he's gonna extend the same courtesy to him and give him a potential opportunity for a potential rematch and retribution, but we're saying that Bivol is ducking because he's fighting Beterbiev?
You dumbass.
Like, what are you talking about, man? Now, I know everybody doesn't watch boxing to the capacity in which they would be considered a purist, but you don't have to be a purist. You could be a casual and still have common sense, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't care if you have the memory of a goldfish or the intelligence of a maggot, or you got your head in the sand or your dick in the dirt.
No, did it?
It doesn't matter to me, man. You still got to be able to easily see that when a fight of this magnitude that took so long to come about, right, when it's finally brought into fruition and one guy wins, then the other guy wins a rematch, then you're gonna have a trilogy, man. Like, so I wouldn't mind seeing David Benavidez get an opportunity for a full belt, but he has to take some responsibility, or and his team, for this as well, because they had to have known, because I knew that they were going to get a trilogy as long as they split 1-1, or if they had a draw the first one and a close fight the second one. Like, going into this fight, we all knew that if in the scenario in which the first fight is close, they were going to have a rematch. Yeah. And the scenario that the rematch has a different winner than the first match, they were going to have a trilogy. So yeah. I don't get how anybody's mad. If you're upset, I just think that you're dumb. You know what I'm saying? You're just not smart at all. Like, this is what was going to happen. In fact, if a fight happened in between this that wasn't Bivol and Beterbiev, that's would have been more surprising. Like, this should surprise nobody. You feel me? Nobody should be surprised about this. This is the proper course of action, you know? Now, I get it. Some people are like, hey, man, I want to switch it up a little bit, get a fresh new face with David Benavidez and Bivol. But no, at the very least, extend the same courtesy that Beterbiev extended to Bivol. And like I said, Beterbiev, in that face-off, when Bivol and Beterbiev were face-to-face and they had a moderator there between them, and they're watching and reviewing the first fight, Beterbiev said flat out in his face, he said, man, if I would have lost the first fight, Bivol would not have given me a rematch. And Bivol just kind of looked down and smirked a little bit, like like, how you know that, you know? So at the very least, you know, Bivol was kind of challenged in that way. So Bivol won the second fight, so he has to give him the third fight. And even when they embraced after the second fight, after the rematch, he was like, no, I'm going to shake y'all hands for real once we have the trilogy and it's over with. That's what Beterbiev said to Bivol. So big salute to Bivol being a man of his word. We should all applaud this. I don't even understand why people are upset. It's just because they don't have a backbone in their body and they've never been held accountable before. Be a man of your word, have the trilogy, you know, you're going to get a bag for it. And then you could move on to Benavidez or whoever wins the vacant WBC belt, man. And you know, shame on the WBC as well, because not shame, shout out to they did their job, but why didn't you enforce the mandatory or order the mandatory when Benavidez was down there with Canelo on 168? You know what I'm saying? A lot of people like to blame Canelo and say Benavidez is ducking. I don't think Canelo ducked at all because it was never forced. You feel me? Like, don't hate the player, hate the game. Could Canelo have fought Benavidez? Of course, he's a face of boxing. He could do whatever he want. And contrarily, if he could also not do whatever he wants, you know? So I get that Canelo could have fought him, but it was never ordered like this was ordered so swiftly, right? Why do you think that is? I'll let y'all think about that with the sanctioned bodies and the fees that they collect from the fighters. And then the bigger the fighter, the bigger the, you know what I'm saying, the bigger the amount of money you're getting, because it's taxed by percentage. If you know how percentages work, then you know that, hey, you don't get no bigger than cinnamon. You know what I'm talking about, Canelo. So yeah, I think that this Bivol is doing the proper thing. And then another thing too, It's like Beterbiev is 40.
Damn. I'm sorry.
Right now, he's 40. He'll be 41 next year in January. Why do you want to postpone this? If you postpone this, it just gets worse and worse for Beterbiev. Now, granted, we're all getting older. Thank God for that. If you're not getting older, that means you're dead.
Yeah.
So we all should be looking forward to and ready to embrace aging. It's not a bad thing. But when you're the older fighter, which Beterbiev is compared to Bivol, then it would behoove him to get the rematch immediately. And I would honestly say if Bivol had a part in not having the rematch immediately, then he could be accused of trying to age out Beterbiev. And because people already say that he aged out Beterbiev in the first place. You see what I'm saying? So I think Bivol's doing the right thing. I think Beterbiev's doing the right thing. And the people that are involved with making these fights happen, helping to facilitate and bring these fights into fruition, like Turkey Al-Sheikh in this case, I think he's doing the right thing as well. Give up the belt. Y'all already fought the first 2 matches for undisputed. Once you're undisputed, you're in the record books forever. So then have the 3rd fight, and then whoever wins could go on and fight Benavidez if he obtains the WBC belt. It's a win-win, man. So anybody that's does not like this scenario, sit your impatient, goofy behind down and just chill, because you don't watch boxing anyway. Because there's no way, if you watch boxing, casual or purist, that you don't appreciate this trilogy, because this is one of the few trilogies that actually makes sense. KD Taylor, the Magistrado. Why are we having a trilogy when the same person won the first 2 fights? That's a trilogy that doesn't make sense. You know, a trilogy that does make sense? Chantel Cameron versus KD Taylor, because they're 1-1. You know, that makes sense. You know what other trilogy didn't make sense? Tyson Fury and Derek Chisora. Tyson Fury won all 3 matches. Why are we having a trilogy? But a trilogy that actually makes sense between 2 top guys that just fought for undisputed. That's what you want to be mad about? That's the fight that you want to gangbang about? Sit your goofy, stupid behind down and just chill, have a Coke and a smile, and enjoy this trilogy. But that's all I got for today, man. And for this video, don't forget to smack that like button. But most importantly, remember, with God, we can do anything. Without God, we're nothing. The doctor's out. Peace. From the hood to college, both worlds they had to meet. 6 degrees between us, so cold we're about to freeze. But we're Florida boys, hot takes, we bring the heat. We're moving the culture, the engineers to the streets.